guys, welcome to this video and my channel. My name is Heather. I am the owner and creator here at Wicked Whiskey Designs, and today we are working on this absolutely gorgeous black Milky Way tumbler. I don't know what I want to call this. I almost want to call it a carnival, a kaleidoscope. Full disclosure, this was supposed to be a peacock tumbler when I started. So in the video, you might hear me reference it as a peacock tumbler. It didn't exactly work out that way, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and show you everything you need to know to make this absolutely stunning tumbler. Everything I used is in the description box below. I've added the links, so if you are looking for a particular glitter that I used, or if you want to use everything that I've done, it's all down below. And full disclosure, I think I've used like, I don't know, 47 different glitters on this. Okay, maybe not that many. Maybe that many. There's a lot. So anyway, they're all listed below, so you have access to them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is a brand new channel. We have a ton of content on its way for you. So definitely like and subscribe so that you get those notifications. And I think that pretty much wraps up the intro for this video. I'm going to go ahead and get started, show you everything you need to know to make this tumbler. Hey guys, okay, so this is the lineup for the cup. Ba, ba, ba. You will find the more you watch me, the more I show myself for the little weirdo that I am. I have over 700 glitter colors. It's really hard for me to say, hey, I'm going to do this cup and I'm just going to use these 3 glitters and we're going to go with it. That's usually not how I roll. So this week is a peacock cup. I've changed the design, I don't know, 14, 15 times, even as recently as me walking from the kitchen to where we are right now. So I'm not going to use all of these, I don't think, but a good chunk of them. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what the lineup's going to look like, and we'll see how it goes. Now, last week's tutorial, the last week's Milky Way, I even said in the video, was kind of like a basic Milky Way, like your starter Milky Way. It wasn't really too complex. There wasn't much layering. It was just kind of like, this is how you do a Milky Way. This week, we are going to do a little bit more. This week, I think, is going to be a little more complex. We're going to have a little more layering, especially if I'm, you know, working with 400 glitters here. So I think it's going to be fun. Do I have a solid plan in place? No. Do I have a solid idea in place? Also, no. Is it going to have a lot of sparkle? Sure is. So we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I just kind of wanted you to see the lineup of where we're going with it. So that's it. Have a good one. Bye. Let's go ahead and start with a fully prepped cup. Don't forget to sand and spray paint your cup, and then mix up probably about 15 mLs of your favorite epoxy and apply it in an even layer with a gloved hand to your cup as it spins. Hey guys, I am so sorry. I did not realize that my video cut out yesterday. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that I normally run my phone down to 5% battery life and probably have 1,400 AT&T updates that need to get done. So I am sorry about that. Just to recap though, in case the video I did catch, I don't use, literally just, you know, sprinkled glitter here, there, everywhere. There was no pattern for any of the, I haven't had enough coffee, I'm sorry. There was no pattern used. It was just basically just sprinkle a little bit of this color here and a little bit of that color there. And I'll go ahead and link out what colors I used to do all of this. So, again, I'm sorry, but moving forward, and yes, I'm totally rocking the polka dot yoga pants this morning, so yay! Anyway, we're going to go ahead and apply a very thin coat of epoxy, because like I said before, this Milky Way is going to get layered, layered, layered. It's just kind of my mood for the week on this. I have changed my design on this. I can't tell you how much or how many times, including right up until last night. I was on Amazon looking for real life peacock feathers. We'll see if that actually works or not. If not, we'll go ahead and do a decal, but I don't know. I was feeling a little froggy last night. If this rocks the camera, I apologize. I'm on my, obviously not my super clean, super pretty spinner. When it comes to Milky Ways and such, I kind of need to be over it more. I need to be taller than what I can be on my other workstation. It's probably just a me thing, but anyway, that's where we're at. So we're going to go ahead and apply a super thin coat of epoxy, and now we are going to go ahead and start glittering. Okay, so what did we use to do this? I've got GLITZERLAND by IPP. I've got Angelo by, where's my film? There we are. PDB. Saint Lucia by Peachy Olive. Nurple, which is probably one of my favorite. It's showing on here as super pink. It's such a super pretty purple. Nurple by IPP. And what is this? Electric Blue, Chunky by Makerflo. So that's what is all on here right now. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and do another layer of glitter. And this is going to be a little more chunky, a little more, to add a little bit of contrast. I told you I wasn't going to use all 1,500 1,500 glitters I had picked out in the original span, and I'm not going to use all those, but I want it to be very vibrant, very interesting. So we're going to go ahead and put some chunky on here and maybe some little crazy colors just to kind of give it, like I said, a little bit of interest. So that's what we're going to do now. And what are we starting with? We are starting with Rebound XL, also from IPP. Oh my lord, this is the prettiest glitter. I absolutely love this. If I could use this on everything, I probably would. And I'm literally just going in and just going to do, oops, that's probably more than I wanted. A little bit of this. It's kind of hard to do this in the camera. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And if you can see what I'm doing, minus that whole section right there, I'm just adding just a little bit here and there. Oops. Next, this is Sea Nymph from PYP Glitter. Also going to link it down below. It's just a really pretty mix of purples and teals. And again, I'm just going to do a little sprinkle here and a little sprinkle there. It has stars. That's fun. I'm not trying to add very much. I'm literally just doing just a little sprinkle of each of these colors. Next. Okay, Carnival King, Glitter and Glitz Designs. This is another glitter that's crazy pretty. Like, it's one of those things you're like, I don't even know what to do with that. Well, you use it for an accent because it's stunning. And then, let's see here. I want a little bit more of the GLITZERLAND, or whatever this is called. And now I'm going to go back and just kind of start hitting it a little bit more with the glitters I originally used. I'm not going for full coverage. I'm not trying to cover up that base 100% whatsoever. I'm literally just trying to add another dimension on top of that base, if that makes sense. I'm not going back with the fine glitters. I'm just trying to add some of the chunkier ones. Two. I guess I'm supposed to be talking to you right now. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. Alright, so this is coming out super crazy pretty. As I try to save my 3 little things of glitter left over. I'm going to add a little bit more of the blue. I also kind of like to do this at an angle. I don't kind of try to work up and down for some reason. I kind of like going at a little bit of an angle. So kind of keep that in mind too. And you're just going to play with this. Like, you're just going to add colors as you see fit. If you want something a little more pink, add a little more pink, or I should say purple. Like right now, I really want to add a little more nurple because honestly, I add nurple, I think, pretty much on anything I can. I want to be a little more purple than what we have going on here. And like I said before, it bears repeating. I'm just going in real sporadic with just tiny little zhuzhus of color here. Now I want to throw in a pop of something that's a little unexpected. So what I am doing, I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to see. This is one of those things that, you know, might fall under the heading of Heather has a bright idea and it's a fail. So it's one of those things I'm not going to know until I'm done with it, but we'll see. I want to add in just a little pop of yellow. Just trust me. You need something to brighten all this up. It's going to sound weird, but I think it's going to work for what I want it to. This is where you tell Heather to stop doing this. It's getting too much, but I don't know that it's too much yet. And I also want to add, again, going to sound weird, my Rebound XL. It's a combination, I don't know if you can see that, of like red and purple. It's crazy pretty, but it's also going to give you a little bit of a different pop because of that red. And that's what I want too. Yes, we know what the peacock colors are. You know what I mean? We're talking very, you know, teals and purples and blues, very much all in line with themselves, which is perfect. But I also want a real subtle pop of something different because I want to brighten it up and I don't want it to all just be that kind of peacock vibe. Oh, I don't know how to say what I'm saying. I want something a little bit extra in there. I want something a little bit unexpected and a little bit fun. So that's why we're adding those other colors in very tiny little amounts. Stay right there because I think I also want to add lime green. So stay right there. Oh, ow, ow, ow. I don't know that I want, if this is going to work. We're back to that disclaimer. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but we're going to try. So maybe a little bit of lime green in there too. Again, not very much. Just a little bit here and there. Welcome to working with Heather. Enjoy the ride. All right, let's see here. I'm digging that. Okay, so we're kind of looking at something along the lines of like almost like a peacock, slight rainbow vibe, and that's what I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and let this spin, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. I don't know that I'm going to add one more layer of glitter. The only thing with layering glitter is you got to be careful because if you add too many layers, what are you doing? You're adding more and more and more, you know, you're stacking more glitter, more epoxy, so it's going to get really thick. I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out. I know the lighting in my garage is kind of probably making this a little wonky, but I'll show you a better video probably, you know, when this all cures out. I'll try to pull it off the spinner if I remember and get a better video of the colors for you. But so far, happy with how this is turning out. We're going to let this spin, and once this is cured, we're going to go ahead, hit it with spray sealer, and add another coat of epoxy on top of it. Okay, guys. Between last time we met and now, I've gone ahead and applied a thick coat of KS Resin LIQUIDY split on here. I love that as my fast set epoxy. It's super thick. It covers beautifully, cures in just a couple hours here in Florida. So it's pretty much, it is pert damn near smooth. We are going to go ahead and apply another thin coat of epoxy, and then we're going to go ahead and start adding a black additive to it and start making all the magic happen. So let's zippity zip through this part. I know you're bouncing. I'm sorry. Ah! Epoxy in a smooth manner to stop the bounce. Alright, just a very thin coat. We are not looking for anything horribly thick or dramatic. We are going to want some movement once we put that black on, but we're not trying to go nuts with it. Okay, we've epoxy. We are going to add, where am I at? Where's my little thing? This. It is a resin colorant. Yes, I know, I'm sorry. It's a resin colorant. It's black. This is pitch black. If you think alcohol ink is dark, this kills it by a long shot. Now, this will take over your cup in the blink of an eye. So when I say less is more, I mean honestly, less is more. And this is coming from a girl who doesn't really understand what the concept of less is more actually means. You want itty bitty, teeny weeny, little baby amount of this. This is a tiny little bottle. I actually got this from my husband. I just jacked it from him and stole it. So we're just going to use a little bit and you won't even know. But you see, where's my fill? There it is. You see how dark that is already? No, it's black. Duh. You will. Okay. So what we're going to do is this. You can mix this in with a little bit of epoxy and drop it that way. Or you can do what I'm doing and just kind of drop a little bit. When I say a little, I mean we're starting with, what, 3 drops? 4 drops? We can add more, but this is one of those things that we can't take away. See, just that 1 drop is like absolutely so much loveliness. Oh. Now, I kind of went back and forth. Do I want to do a black Milky Way? Don't I? I want the drama of a swirl essence, and I knew that this is going to be the right thing to use because, as you can see, covers so beautifully. Do you see all this? That is 3 drops. Trust your friend Heather when she says don't go nuts with it, because yes, this will 100% take over. And if you start seeing where, hey, this is kind of, there's a lot, start pulling it up, because it's only going to get more the more it moves. I don't want this to have, how do I say this? I don't want this to be fully black. I don't want this to be banging with color all over the place either. I need that equal contrast. So I'm going to get a little bit of a paper towel and we're going to take some of this off, because the more it moves, the more it's going to spread out. So it's already like almost where I would want it. And I know that it's going to take over more. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a paper towel. We're going to take some of this off. Hold that thought. Okay. So again, 3 drops is doing all of this. When it starts to be given off a little more than you want, pull some of that up. And how I do that is obviously what I'm doing. I follow the curve or the pattern I want. I'm pressing down very firm with my finger, almost to make little divots and rivers and however you want to say it. I want as much up as I can get, but I also don't want to be like, hey, here's a chunk. You know what I mean? Like I want, dig in, use your nails, and you're going to get those separations. And that's what I want. Oops. Like I said, I don't want it 100% black. I don't want it 100% glitter. It's one of those things that you know it when you see it. And by pressing your nails onto the cup through your gloves, obviously, you're making, you're giving yourself little, how do I explain this? It's not a solid swoosh of black. You've got little divots in it and separations of color. That's the word I was looking for, separation. Okay. We are almost where Heather's at a happy spot. The reason I'm hesitating is, like I said earlier, as this rolls, it's also going to spread out just a little bit more. So it's one of those things where you're kind of in that gray area of, am I pulling enough? Am I pulling too much? Is this going to completely go nuts and take over everything? Or is this good? And I kind of feel like this is good. I'm happy with this. Not that. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, now I think I'm happy with it. All right, so what we're going to do next, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my glove. Give me 1 second. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, this is probably one of my favorite parts. In theory, this is kind of like what a normal Milky Way would look like-ish. A little more of the black, but you know what I'm saying. I want to add more color on the top. When I said this was a layered Milky Way type of cup, that's what I'm referring to. We stacked up a couple of different layers underneath the epoxy. We're adding the black. Now I want to sprinkle a little bit of that chunky glitter to really bang things out a bit. And you'll see what I mean. So I'm actually going to... Yep, I'm breaking out that yellow again. It just makes me happy. My life colors are honestly teal, purple, pink. Like that's just my jam all day long. But ooh, that got a little aggressive. But I think from doing rainbow tumblers for so long, I'm happier when there is more of a variety than just that. So even though the peacock colors are right up my alley, I'm going to be happier if it's kind of like a rainbow peacock, if it makes sense. That's just how my heart goes. It needs all the rainbow colors. All right. What was that? I'm talking. That's Rebound Vibes. Freaking prettiest color. Comes in chunky and fine, for those who are wondering. And, you know, I almost think, do we want to add... Decision tree. I'm going to add a tiny little bit of the actual peacock color up here on top. When I say peacock color, it is Glitzerland from IPP, which they're one of my all-time favorite glitter dealers. If you're not familiar with them, they're definitely going to get linked down in the description. Definitely check them out. I kind of feel like this is my happy place. I know that my lighting out here kind of sucks, but I hope you can see. I hope you can see what we are throwing down here. This is the point where Heather starts making decisions. I keep talking to myself in the third person, but you know what I mean. This is where I start. This is where I need to stop and walk away. Right after I fix that aggressive little yellow spot. All right. Happy. Okay, I'm going to take you off here and give you a little zoom. What? Look at all that happiness. Super pretty. Tons of sparkle. Love the black. Not too much, not too little. Again, my lighting out here kind of sucks, but I think that we're all going to be really happy with this once we get to the next step. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let this spin. Once this cures, like I said, I use fast set, so it'll just be a couple hours. I'm going to go ahead and throw another... Oopsie, sorry. I didn't mean to aggressively finger you on that one. No comments on that. I'm going to go ahead and add another coat of epoxy on there once this one cures, and then we'll meet up for the next step. Awesome. Thanks for coming along for the ride. This is why I edit videos, so that I can edit out all my rambling and bullshit. But anyway, see you on the next spin. Bye. Okay, so we ended up stopping the tumbler here. I couldn't make a decision on decals or peacock feathers, and this cup ended up so gorgeous that it is what it is in all of its glory. Go ahead and add 1 or 2 coats of epoxy on top to seal your cup completely, and don't forget to use a sanding block or a hand sander to expose the rim at the very top of the cup so that your epoxy has somewhere to hold on to. You want that stainless steel showing just a little bit, and it gives your epoxy a place to land. Hey guys, tips and tricks on this cup. Okay, this is gorgeous. It came out so pretty. I love it with everything in my being, but I have to be fully honest, this doesn't come out at all like I thought it was going to. You know, okay, so this is going to be my TED talk on acceptance and understanding. When I first started this tumbler, I had it in my head it was going to be like a peacock tumbler, and it was going to have, you know, feathers and XYZ. And you know what? Somewhere along the line, this tumbler just decided, I don't want to be a peacock. I'm not going to do it. So it didn't. I also didn't know what to put on it at the end. And I was just like, you know what? It's so freaking pretty. It doesn't even need anything on there. You know, this is one of those things where, you know, if you're a creative person and you're anything like me, sometimes you start with, this is how I have a full plan. I have a plan of action. I know everything. I already have in my head exactly what it's going to look like at the end. This is what we're doing. This is what we're executing. Bam, and it's done. And then there's some projects that you're just kind of like, you know, I'm going to know when I see it, when it's done, or I know kind of what I want it to look like, and I'm going to move forward, and then it's just all going to come together. Okay, well, this is one cup that just kind of didn't want to do that for me. I can't even be mad about it because it came out so pretty. But in the beginning, like I said, it was going to be a peacock tumbler. I even went so far as buying real peacocks. I mean, real peacocks feathers. Sorry, I don't have a herd of animals. Well, I have a herd of animals. I just don't have a herd of birds. But, I bought real peacock feathers. I was spray adhesiving glitter to them. And no, I don't like that. And let's try this. No, I don't like that. And I was doing decals and, you know, water slides. And you know what? It just didn't want to be a peacock. It happens. There's days I don't want to be a peacock either. So anyway, this came out really pretty. Tips and tricks for it. The more glitter, the better. I think that's going to end up being this channel's catchphrase, but honestly, the more glitter, the better. The last video I did, the pastel Milky Way, was a very, very chill one layer Milky Way, like a little happy little easy Easter bunny kind of a Milky Way. This one just went like ham on glitter, man. You know, it has multiple layers, multiple cuts, multiple colors, unexpected colors, like, you know, throw the black Milky Way on top, and, you know, it's absolutely stunning. But it's a totally different Milky Way than the last one we did. Tips and tricks. Have fun with it. Like, I would love to be like, here's all the rules to doing this. Nope, this one just went totally off the rails. It has its own mind. So let your tumbler do the same thing. The black Milky Way part is probably the only thing that I would have a tip trick on, and that is less is more. Do not do what Heather has done so many times. I am the queen of, you know what? I think that needs just a little bit more of, you know, XYZ. Don't do that. With the black, don't do that. It will eat your cup up. It will swallow everything and you will be sad, okay? Less is definitely more. And if I am the queen of let's go extra and I'm telling you, don't do that, don't do that. When you're doing the black Milky Way, the black pigment is, let me say this. I've done black Milky Ways with black alcohol ink, okay? And that is a little more forgiving. It doesn't take over the entire cup. You still have to go light with it, but it's not as aggressive as the pigment. Now, the pigment is blacker. It's darker. It's thicker. It's just awesome. But you literally need, and in the video, you're going to see where I'm literally just putting a drop, a drop, a drop, instead of, let's put it all on there. Don't go nuts on it. Literally start with less, pull your Milky Way, and then if you still are like, I think we need a little bit more, put one more little micro dot and work in tiny little increments with that black, because I've made that mistake before, more than once, where, you know, I do my normal thing and I'm just laying it all out there, and then I come back and like you can see a sliver of glitter somewhere on the cup and it's just nothing but black all the way around. So I'm being supervised by 3 of the 4 dogs in my house right now, and one of them is making more noise than anyone should be allowed to make when she's only, you know, 1.5 feet tall. Hi. Just like a big family on these videos, isn't it? Okay, so that would probably be the main thing. You know, so like I said before, some tumblers just don't want to be what you think they would need to be. just, if it's not for a customer, sometimes you just run with it and you end up with something even better than you have in your brain to start with. Definitely make sure that when you lay your glitter down, all your little layers, and you are at the point where you're going to go ahead and now you're moving on with your final coats of epoxy, definitely make sure that you spray seal that glitter before you move on to that covering coat. Like we've talked about before, some epoxies will repel some glitters, or I should say some glitters repel some epoxies, and you're never going to know when that's going to happen until it happens. And then you're like, shit, because now you've got a dumpster fire that you're going to have to try to fix. So save yourself the trouble on that, and definitely spray seal your glitter before you move on to your seal coat. It does not need, in my experience, does not need to be spray sealed in between layers of glitter when you're doing this method. And I'm assuming it is because you are interrupting that epoxy flow anyway by adding more glitter to it. The final, when you start flooding it out with epoxy to cover and seal and finish out your tumbler, definitely spray seal it. On a cup like this, where you are using 1,800 glitters, cuts, brands, colors, suppliers, all it takes is one. All it takes is one glitter to be like, I'm shitty today. And it's going to just start repelling stuff. So definitely spray seal it. Let me see, what else do we need to talk about? Go nuts with color. Like, have fun with this. If this is not like your color vibe, like I feel like the lights in here aren't doing this justice. I feel like I want to be all like, look at all that madness. Yay! If this is not your vibe though, like I said, we were going for some kind of a peacock situation here. It doesn't need to be. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. If you are an orange, yellow, brown girl, okay, and those are your colors, run with it. If you are a gray, pink, purple, what do I have? Maroon girl, go with those. The only thing I have to say about this cup is the more glitter, the better, okay? Add different cuts, add different sizes, shapes, throw in some crazy, offset color. Did this need lime green? Sure did. So, just kind of have fun. Unless you are doing something for a customer, I have to be honest and say, have fun with stuff. I mean, full disclosure, I've had the last 2 weeks of an absolute dumpster fire of an existence. Okay, anything that could go wrong has, anything that could go wrong on customer cups has, mailing situations, shipping situations, dog situations, you name it, there's been drama. So, this is one of those things where I have to like literally all that expectation that I wanted to do on this, putting it in a bubble and blowing it away. And sometimes you just have to do that. So do a cup for you, have fun, pick your favorite colors, just start loading it up. And the more glitter, the better. And definitely the more, sometimes you've got to add an unexpected color into the mix, and you're going to be amazed at like how much you love it. So, when it comes to this cup, or if you're doing something similar, have fun with it. Do it for you. That's kind of where I went with this this week. Next week, I think we're going to do something absolutely regimented and amazing, and like 18 steps of complicated, or we're going to do a beach tumbler. I don't know. We'll see which way we want to go. If you have a preference, let me know in the comments below. I think that's it. Like, honestly, this one, it's just literally throw a bunch of glitter on it, throw a black Milky Way on it, call it good. No peacock feathers, nothing extra. You know what? Some weeks are like that. This was one of them. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to this train wreck madness of a channel, definitely do that. And honestly, if there's anything that you have any questions on, leave them in the comments below. I absolutely love the comments. I asked you, I think on the last video, to let me know if my rambling bullshit in these sections, if they helped at all. And so many people were like, absolutely. And that means the world to me. It really honestly does. It's a lot of fun making these videos. It's a lot of work making these videos. There's people who make amazing videos, much better than me, and don't ramble on for approximately 12 minutes as I'm looking at my little timer on my phone. But I appreciate each and every one of you. And if there's anything that you want to see, like I said, there's so much freaking content coming. Like, I have a list this long of stuff. You know, so definitely if there's something you have any trouble with, put it in the comments below, or shoot me a message. I am literally everywhere on social media. Shoot me an email, shoot me a message. Sometimes it might take me a minute to get back with you. You know, sometimes I always try to return like messages within a day or two. I'm pretty good about that. Pretty good. So, but definitely shoot me a message or leave me a comment. Let me know what you're looking for in way of content. Let me know if you have any problems with anything, if anything isn't working out. You know, I am the straight up OG of fixing shit when it goes wrong. And you know, so many makers, so many amazing tumbler makers out there are like, okay, this is the proper way to do this. This is how you do this. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But if there's a wrong way to fix things, let's say a backdoor way of things, you know, ways to fix things, I'm your girl all day long. You know, so the proper way may not work, or you might not have time for the proper way. But if it comes to fixing things on the fly, I'm usually pretty good at that. No idea where we segmented into that, but whatever. As you can see, it's just, this video is just kind of going off the rails, but we'll be back next week. So yeah, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Name of the game on this tumbler: when in doubt, add more glitter. So have a great week. I'll see you next week. It's going to be amazing. Whatever we're going to do next week is going to be organized and totally on board and perfect in every way. Anyway, have a great week. I'll see you. Bye.